Hi there, I'm Chris, and I'm so glad you're here. Today I've got something a little bit fun and different to share with you. I'm going to give you a little sneak peek inside my newest course. It's called Draw Your Own Fairytale Character Design Academy. This course is all about helping you design your own cast of lovely little characters like gnomes and dragons and wizards and fairies and unicorns. And this course isn't just about character design, but whole world building. So you'll create complete scenes based on story prompts. So by the end, you'll have multiple complete pieces of art that look like they could be in a children's book. So once we have a story mapped out, one of the ways we practice throughout the course is by sketching each character in 3 different poses. So you can kind of really get an idea of how to develop a character, how to pose them or clothe them, or how to create a scene around them. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through one of those practice sketches. It's part of our unicorn character project. Every project increases in difficulty, and this one is about halfway through, so it's about medium level. But it's still totally beginner friendly. It's a really great way to warm up, but it also lets you stretch your creative wings a little bit. So we'll start simple, and by the end, you'll have a cute little sketch that will help you on your way to sketching cute fairy tale characters. So if you want any more information on this new course, as always, I'll have all the info in the description below. So let's get started. In this lesson, we're going to be moving on to our second practice unicorn sketch. And I have my second unicorn beginner's guide open. And in my photos section here, I also have the unicorn step-by-step worksheet for the second unicorn. So we have a few shapes. I've given you a little bit more information here because it is on the 3/4 view. So we want to practice doing that. And it's just has, all it is though, is just still a circle and just a little bit for the nose here, and you can see the center line. That will be where the middle of her face is, and so we can just see a little bit of that eye on the side there. So let's follow our guide here, and I'm just going to take this guide and lock it, create a new layer on top, still with my classic sketcher. Let's start with step 2. So I'm just sort of blocking out a few things. As you can see, we're going to start with the unicorn and the ears, and kind of blocking out where the flower and the hair will go, just sort of this section here, if you can see. So instead of just jumping in with all the detail, I'm just going to block out where it's going to go. That will help me sort of develop. We don't have to do all the details right away. You can kind of just map out where things are going to go, so you have your proportions set, and then you go in and do more detail. So let's just start with the unicorn here. So it's a fairly straightforward triangle, so we can get that. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and sketch where my face is going to be. So you're just connecting these lines. It's just a little, again, keeping that, it's a cute proportion, just having it really small. You can see she's gonna have a little smile, so you have a little uptick, so the two parts separate from the lower and the upper jaw. And then having the main part of the big cheek and jaw part there. Okay, so then let's go and just see, this is going to be where the large flower is going to be. So just kind of roughly put that in there. Little ears back here. Another ear will be back here. And this section is, again, more flowers and whatnot. So just lightly put that section in there. I just want something there. All right, and then the hair here, this little swoop, just kind of like what we did before. I can see how far it comes, about halfway down. So we're just swooping up to here. So that's, just kind of planning a route here. All right, next up. Just gonna mark in where the other legs are going to be. So again, because we're on a 3/4 angle, we will see more of the legs. I'm actually shifted this way. So let's just do that. I'm gonna see where the neck is coming in is actually here. So it's not back here, just make sure that you're coming in the front here. Scooping around the chest. All right, so this is the front leg, and then the leg behind will be going at a little bend and coming in. right. And the one behind will be similar to what's going on in front, but a little bit shorter. See how it's the same, ends at the same spot at the back there, the two back legs. All right, step 4. So now you can see we fleshed them out and how cute that looks, but it's really easy if you just start with just some simple lines of direction and then you know where to go. All right, let's bring this in. So these are a little bit more curved. We're not going quite as straight up and down as we did in our last one, so I have a little curve to them. Sort of flaring out, so they go in around the knees, so we have these cute little sort of bigger hooves that make it look a little bit more stylized, slightly less realistic. And I'm going to have them furry. Well, not the hooves, but the fur, and not just have a straight line. So you can just, just rough that in. Again, this is just our sketch, so we're not doing all the major details here. Okay. Then let's do this leg. So having that knee come out. Oh, look at this shape in here. That helps you out. And then the hoof is just here, like that. And you can have a little furry that's there. Okay, so that's looking good. If you want to just erase a little bit, just to clean up some stuff, that's good. All right, and then here, I can draw the little tummy here. You can see how it comes up here. So I'm just going to draw this line up. All right, let's start with the leg in front. So it's going to we're going to carry on this curve here and then out right here. And a little curve in. So having these nice little shapes. Get more interesting. So we're starting to get a little bit closer to actual horse anatomy, but still quite simplified. Let's do a little curve. And a little furry bits there, whatever detail you want to do there. And back here, so we can see this shape here. So come in from there and then curve. You're following your direction line. I know it's going to meet. Mine maybe hasn't gone quite as far, so I can just change that. Now that I'm noticing here how close that is, it actually comes up quite a bit. It's a little bit more like that. So they connect. All right. Okay, so let's just step back and see if that's roughly the same. I think this one might be a little bit wider here. I want to make sure that reads that that's coming in front, right? And I think this is a little bit wider here. So I want to make sure that they're all the same thickness. And this maybe has a bit more of a curve here. A little bit more of a curve there. Okay, happy with that. On to the next one. Now here I'm just sort of, again, mapping out the bigger shapes for the hair portion and finishing up the back end here. So we can just finish the curve of the rump and sort of block in where we're putting this tail. So nice and high and round. Makes them look a little happier. I have just this little squiggle here. Coming in like that. right. And then the mane here, it's just slightly, just make sure there's the gap here, this gap. Something like kind of figuring out where that's gonna go. Sort of a section here and a section here. Okay, good stuff. Moving on. So now we're just doing the detail of the flowers and whatnot. So it's easier to do, though I think easier to do it over top first before you, and then you put your hair in all below. So let's do this. We're just going to go, and in the center, basically, just start to make kind of a shape like that. And then just draw like a circle around. And then another one. Just have them overlapping. This again can just be stylized. So I'm just where they connect here. See that? I'm gonna just do another overlap that is different than that. So you can just come around and overlap. I'm not following this exactly. I'm just doing whatever. So you can see you can just build it out with just a few lines like that. Okay, that's good. Happy with that. So then we'll just go and place a few leaves. So feel free to interpret this a little bit. It doesn't have to be exactly line for line. Another little leaf. And here we're just gonna do another little flower here. So just really simple, just the circle and then circles around. And having basically put a leaf here, kind of filling up this spot that you drew before, you sketched out before. Because we know we need the filler there. And then adding a few circles, they're just like berries. It's always an easy way to fill it in. Another leaf here. And yeah, just sort of a line and some circles like we've done before. Just fills it in. Okay, so that's probably good for that. You can see how we've done the unicorn here. It's a little bit more of a swirl, so just a curved line. It's like this shape here. So just curve and return, curve and return, all the way down. And that just gives you a kind of cuter, softer look. Okay, so we can start to, I've separated these bits here so you can have sort of one shape here and another one coming like this. A little bit of a bangs here. I know it's not what it's called, but I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna erase to clean up a little bit. Okay, that's looking good. Number 7 here, let's pop in the eyes. Okay, so let's just do the details of the face here. So you can see that her eye is sitting on this line here. That's the eye line, and along this line of action as well. And kind of judge by where you've done your bangs, how big this is going to come out. Maybe about here. Okay, so I'm just going to draw a little circle just to start getting a shape in here, getting my bearings. You can see this goes up, so it's not all the way. Not all the way down. There's kind of more of a line here than a circle. It's not a perfect circle, but nearly so on the rest of it. So just that little tear duct almost shape right there. Okay, and then you're having this circle in here. It fills it up, most of it. It's a little bit of white. We can fill that in if that helps you. So let's see what we're doing here. Okay. And then you can see the lashes, so you're just going to carry this line, swoop, and swoop, swoop, and another one. We really went overboard with the lashes. And just, it'll all be dark, so you don't have to worry too much about how those finish in there. Okay, and then just two little ones at the edge. Again, makes it rather cutesy. I'm gonna have the upper lid show a little bit, just a little bit of a line there. And then here, you can see, looking at where the line is, I'm just gonna have her little eyebrow, helping with expression, just making it look super sweet. I'm gonna just grab white, do my little dot here so I can see that. Great, go back to my brown color, and I can fill that in a little bit more too. All right, I think that looks good, looks pretty accurate. Now this one is just going to be, we've done these before sort of, but this is a little bit more detailed. So where the nose comes here, follow this line and curve up. Just make that look natural. So it's going to be the same size as this, so just move that around. So you already know where that eye is going to be. So it looks harder than it is, but if you just follow that natural line, then you know where to go. So now you have an oval, because it's going to be, the perspective is going to be squashed there. But we're still going to see a little bit of white. Just going to round that out, right? Okay, and then we can color it in. And just pop in the little eyelashes, because those are always good to see on the side. Again, that helps with the shape language to see that silhouette. I like seeing the rest of the eyelashes. And then that's how you connect that. And we can just do a little white dot on the same side. And there we go. Okay, back to the brown. So making sure, I don't have her quite as smiley. Just making sure that this is smiling up. And just her little nose here. Just looking at where it is. And on the same side, super simple. Not too much detail there. All right, good stuff. So on to the last step, let's just fill in finish up our hair. That's all that's happening really. I'm going to turn off my guide layer just so I can see a bit more. And so we can just do more shapes. So you can follow this line here. I had this going here, so that's sort of a major chunk of hair. So just put in that. And then you can follow suit with these ones coming along here. A few more. Then this, I'm going to erase this part because we won't see that. Clean this shape up a little bit. Just have another, sort of this line here. Have this coming in like that. Just find a few places where you can make these shapes and then come in with your secondary ones that are behind or underneath. And they can be a little bit different widths and stuff. That'll help. Something like that. And you can add more lines here. I'm not going to go into too much detail with this one, but then you can put a few little hairs out of place there, just like that. With the nose, to make it even cuter, I've done it here where it's just a little bit more of a shape, like not just perfectly rounded. So you're welcome to add that little bit too. Just make sure you add back the nose. And here you see, instead of it scooping like that, it kind of has more structure there. So it holds up, just kind of goes out a little bit more. Okay. And of course we can start erasing a few things like this. These lines here, they're not necessary anymore. Making sure this line comes in front, so that's in the back. Just all these little details. And let's see, where else? course, our actual tail here. Can finish that. I think I forgot to put that little line in there. So we can just create more sections. Like that. And then little extra ones have little bits coming off. Obviously those little details help. Put another little curl on there. Putting a few lines just at the base and then at the end. Okay, there we go. So that's looking good. I think I've got everything in there for the most part. Again, that's more than enough detail that I need for a sketch. So I hope you enjoyed that one. It's a little bit more complex, but I know that you're ready to go on to the next one. In our next lesson, we'll be doing the sketch for our final unicorn project, and it's going to be the similar character that we've got going on here, but just even more detail to it. So I look forward to seeing you in the next one. So I hope you had fun sketching along with me and getting a little taste of what it's like inside the Draw Your Own Fairytale Character Design Academy. This is just one of the practice sketches we do to help bring your characters to life. So if you did enjoy this, you'll absolutely love the full course. We go way deeper into designing characters, building whimsical scenes, and all the scene elements that are involved in that, and little extra characters as well, your little sidekicks and whatnot. And of course, telling your own visual stories step by step. So if you want to join the Academy or learn more, I've linked everything below in the description. So thanks so much for drawing with me today. Love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.